Hello, 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 hello. Welcome back to the channel, and this is the 2003 Royal Rumble. I've got my list, so let's get cracking. The first match up we have is Brock Lesnar versus The Big Show. It was just a match to see who gets into the Royal Rumble. Obviously, Brock and Big Show have been feuding. Big Show was the champion for a while because Paul Heyman turned on Lesnar, so they had their feud, and this is kind of just continuing that. Brock Lesnar wins. It was a quick six odd minute match. It wasn't anything special. I gave it a 6 out of 10. Just bang average, really. And then we go to the next match, which is the Dudley Boys versus Lance Storm and William Regal. The Dudley Boys said some horrible things about Bischoff, which led, to this feud, really, because Lance Storm and Regal are kind of pals with him. The Dudley Boys cost Lance Storm and William Regal a match against Jim Ross and Jerry Lawler. So then Bischoff decided to punish the Dudley Boys, and they were in a match with 3 minute warning. Rosie and Batista and Lance Storm and Regal cost them. Then Lance Storm and Regal won the titles, and then they signed this match for the tag titles at the Rumble. And the Dudley Boys win. I gave it 6 out of 10. Again, a match that isn't really nothing special. Bubba, Devon, Lance, Regal, they're good work hands. They know how to work. They know how to wrestle. It was just pretty much a short match. A lot of these matches are just short matches. They just seem to be filler. And then the next one is Tori Wilson versus Dawn Marie Wilson. You know the storyline. Dawn cozies up with Tori's dad. They end up in the shower together. Then they end up getting married. Tori, meanwhile, is hating all of this. And then Dawn Marie... Al Wilson's away for some reason. And then Dawn Marie's like... Oh, the only reason I'm doing this is because I want to get closer to you, because I fancy you. If you come to this hotel room and we'll do stuff, and then I'll break it off with your dad. Tori shows up, reluctantly does it. There's apparently a recording that Dawn Marie's threatening to release, and she turns around and she's like, I'm not. Basically, no, I'm staying with your dad. And then the wedding is actually after that. And then Al Wilson at some point ends up having a heart attack and dying. And then this is billed as a stepdaughter versus stepmother match, even though they're either the same. I reckon they're around the same age. It was stupid. It's crap. I gave it a 5 out of 10, and that was being generous. It was awful. Tori wins. Just awful match. Not entertaining in the slightest. Then we move forward, and we've got... Right. Now, this match is considered to be not very good, but I don't think it was that bad. I gave it a 6 out of 10. It wasn't the greatest, but it wasn't rubbish, and that is Scott Steiner versus Triple H for the World Heavyweight Championship. Scott's... Basically, the backstory is Scott's showing up. He's flirting between Raw and SmackDown. Raw get the sign in, and he's like, I've got a guaranteed championship title match. So they book it for the Rumble, and then they do all these skits where they do like a pose off and arm wrestling and all this crap, and then not doing a bench press and stuff. it was a crap build, really. Going into this, apparently, though, Scott Steiner was... he did have a... He was of an ankle or a foot injury. I think it was a foot injury, which kind of hampered the match. The thing is, like, the crowd were getting a bit bored of it and booing at some points. But that was when Scott Steiner kept doing suplexes. Like, I'm gathering the people that were at this pay-per-view didn't watch WCW because that's what Scott Steiner did. He was Big Papa Pump. He wasn't as athletic as he was when he was with the Steiner brothers. But yeah, like, he was a suplex man. He was an amateur wrestler, and it was suplexes. Like, no one got bored of Brock doing it and booing it. But when Scott Steiner did it, people didn't like it. I know we're talking like a 10-15 year difference, but yeah, like, it was a decent match. Like, Scott Steiner wins by disqualification. It was a decent match, but it weren't anything out of this world. But talking about out of this world, the next match we're going to is Kurt Angle versus Chris Benoit for the WWE title. Now, this is an 8 out of 10. It is a great match. I really enjoyed it. I absolutely loved it. Yeah, it is an absolutely superb match, and I very much enjoyed it. Right, sorry, my computer just had a spaz. Yeah, don't know what happened there. But yeah, I think Kurt says it's one of his best matches, and I've got to agree with him. Yeah. Backstory. Kurt Angle wanted the WWE title. He said to Lesnar, "You help me out, I'll give you the first title match." And of course, that didn't happen because Lesnar helped Kurt beat the Big Show, and then Kurt signed on Paul Heyman as his manager. So Heyman had Big Show and Kurt. Big Show wasn't happy, but they promised him like title matches and stuff like that. He was going to have a title match against Kurt, but Kurt got injured. Yeah, that old chestnut. Kurt got injured. They cancelled the match and they said there's going to be a number one contenders match between Big Show and Chris Benoit. And Chris Benoit beat the Big Show. So Chris Benoit went to the Royal Rumble to face Kurt, and the rest is history. It was a fantastic match. I absolutely loved it. Two guys that are on top of their game, great workers, and as I said, I gave it an 8 out of 10. Now we go to the Royal Rumble. I think, was this the first Rumble where Raw and SmackDown are separate? I think it might be. There's a bit of a story between Shawn and Chris Jericho, who are number 1 and 2. They're like, Shawn's like, "Oh, you won't be a great wrestler until if you can win the Rumble from the beginning to the end like I did." So Jericho chooses the number 2 spot to come in. Ironically, he gets eliminated 14th, but he eliminates Shawn Michaels, so I guess he's got something. And then we got Ryan Edge, Christian, it's Jerry, B Squared, Van Dam, Matt Hardy, Jeff, Cena, Rikishi, Kane, Booker T. Booker T, he's always, every Rumble that I've watched with Booker T in, he comes in, he's in there for like a few minutes and then gets eliminated, and it's normally after he does the Spinneroonie. I think they just bring him in to do the Spinneroonie and then throw him over the top. But this one is actually quite an interesting ending, because you've got at the end, you've got Batista, who came in 28th, Brock, who came in 29th, and Taker, who came in 30th. And you've also got Kane in there, Van Damme's towards the end, and your eventual winner is the Beast Incarnate Brock Lesnar, who eliminates The Undertaker last. Really good Rumble. Gave it 7 out of 10. Overall, the pay-per-view is a 7 out of 10. I think it was really enjoyable. I know, the thing is, I wish I could go into more detail and things, but because I watched them so long ago, because I was trying to power through them, that my memory's a bit fuzzy, do you know what I mean? So, yeah, I think it was a great Rumble. I really enjoyed it. Brock Lesnar goes on to face Kurt Angle and win the title from him. So, all's well that ends well for Brock Lesnar after being messed about. Yeah, thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, then please like, comment, subscribe, ring the notification bell, all that lovely stuff. And I shall see you for the 2004 Royal Rumble. Have a good day, have a good afternoon, have a good evening, or have a good night. And I shall see you guys later. See you later. Bye-bye.